Good morning, dear children. Welcome back to our online maths class. Okay, nowadays we have been discussing about fractions, isn't it? We have been discussing about fractions. Okay, do you remember what has been learned in our previous classes? What have been learned? Yes, we have learned about the fractions and its representation, pictorial representation, all those things we have learned, isn't it? A fraction has two parts. Which are they? Yes, numerator and denominator. In a fraction, the number written above is known as the numerator and below is known as the denominator, isn't it? Yes. Fraction means part of a whole. That also we have learned. In that, the part is known as the numerator and the whole is known as the denominator, isn't it? Okay. Now, in this class, we are going to discuss about types of fractions. We are going to discuss about, don't write, we are going to discuss about what? Yes, types of fractions. There are many types of fractions. Many types of fractions are there. So let's discuss one by one. Don't write. In this class, we could learn sometimes a few types only. Okay. So the first type is known as unit fractions. Don't write. The first type is known as what? Unit fractions. Can you guess, anybody, what would be the unit fractions? Okay, let me write some fractions and please try to identify the speciality or the thing which is common to all these fractions. 1 by 2 is a fraction, 1 by 4 is a fraction, 1 by 36 is a fraction, 1 by 14 is a fraction. All these are fractions, isn't it? Can you say any speciality among these fractions? Anything that is common to these fractions? Can you say anything which is common to these fractions? Yes, very good. In all these fractions, the numerator is 1, isn't it? The numerator is 1 in all these fractions. Okay, in all these fractions, we know the numerator is 1. So, the fractions with 1 as the numerator are known as, yes, unit fractions. The fractions with 1 as the numerator are known as unit fractions. Unit means usually, unit represents 1 usually, isn't it? Unit means 1. So the fractions with 1 as the numerator are known as unit fractions. Okay, this is the first type. And the second type is, here also let me ask some questions and you would be easily able to understand second type also. Second type is, let me write some fractions. Don't write, listen carefully. Is 2 by 5 a fraction? Yes. 1 by 8? Yes, isn't it? 9 by 15? Yes. 3 by 4? Yes. 2 by 9? Yes. All these are fractions, isn't it? Can you find anything any speciality among these fractions? Can you identify any speciality of these fractions? Can you try to identify? Can you try to identify anything that is special among these fractions? Please try. Okay, let me ask. Here, 2 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator. Which is the smallest one, smaller one? Yes, numerator is smaller than the denominator. Isn't it? Here, numerator 2 is smaller than the denominator 5. What about this fraction? Numerator is 1, which is smaller than the denominator 8, isn't it? 1 is less than 8, isn't it? What about this fraction? Which is the numerator here? Yeah, 9 is the numerator and 15 is the denominator. 9 is less than 15, isn't it? 9 is less than 15. What about this? Numerator 3 is less than denominator 4. What about this? Yes, numerator is 2, denominator is 9. So, 2 is less than 9. So, what can we conclude from this? What can we note from this? Yes, in all these fractions, numerator is less than the denominator. In all these fractions, numerator is less than the denominator, isn't it? In all these given fractions, numerator is less than the denominator. Such fractions are known as proper fractions. Such fractions are known as what? Yes, such fractions are known as proper fractions. Such fractions are known as proper fractions. Okay, so what would be improper fractions? Can you say what would be improper fractions? Yes, just the reverse of the proper fraction. That means numerator is greater than the denominator. The fractions in which the numerator is greater than the denominator is known as improper fractions. Improper fractions. The fractions in which the numerator is greater than the denominator is known as the improper fraction. Can you say some examples of improper fractions? Can you say some examples of improper fractions? Yes, 5 by 3. Here numerator is 5, denominator is 3. 5 is greater than 3, isn't it? What about 10 by 9? Is it a proper fraction? Sorry, improper fraction. Is it an improper fraction? Yes, why? Yes, numerator is 10, denominator is 9. 10 is greater than 9, isn't it? What about 25 by 11? Is it a proper fraction or improper fraction? Yes, this is an improper fraction. Why? Yes, numerator is 25, denominator is 11. 25 is greater than 11. Got it? This is the concept of improper fractions. This is the concept of improper fractions. Okay. Now let's discuss one more. Okay, let me write some fractions. 2 by 4, 5 by 4, 1 by 4, 6 by 4, 3 by 4. Can you identify any speciality among these fractions? Can you identify anything which is special among these fractions? Yes, in all these fractions, denominator is 4, isn't it? In all these fractions, the denominator is 4. So, the fractions with fractions having the same denominator. Fractions having same denominator are known as, yes, like fractions. Same, like. Fractions with same denominator are known as what? Like fractions. Fractions with same denominator are known as like fractions. So can you say, I would like to give you some examples. Can you say whether they are like fractions or not? 2 by 7, 1 by 7, 6 by 7, 5 by 7. Are they like fractions? Yes, these are like fractions. Why? Yes, in all these fractions, denominator is 7. That means these are the fractions with the same denominator. So these are like fractions. So can you say what would be the unlike fractions? What would be unlike fractions? Yes, just the reverse or just the opposite. The fractions with different denominators. The fractions with different denominators are known as what? Unlike fractions. What about these fractions? Here denominator is 7, here denominator is 6, here it is 11, here it is 12. That means all fractions have different denominator. So what can we conclude at? Yes, these are known as unlike fractions. Unlike fractions. Have you understood the concepts? Okay, this much is enough today. So let's try to write the notes. The heading is types of fractions. Types of fractions. Write down types. As I have been saying always, before start writing, mention date and day on the upper portion of your margin. Okay? Types of fractions. Types of fractions. Okay? The first one is, okay, which is this number? Roman number, which one? We have discussed about numerator, denominator and all. 1 minute. Okay. Here we begin a new session, so no need to write the Roman number here. Okay. Types of fractions. Have you written? Okay. The number 1, the first type is, please write down, unit fractions. Unit fractions. Unit fractions. Okay. Underline. What is meant by a unit fraction? Yeah, fractions with 1 as the numerator are known as unit fractions, isn't it? Write down fractions with yes, 1 as the numerator, 1 as the numerator are known as, why I use are here? Here because we are mentioning about fractions, that is plural. Fractions is plural, isn't it? The fractions with 1 as numerator are known as, yes, are known as what? Yes, unit fractions. Are known as unit fractions. Okay, write down examples. You can write the examples yourself. Your own examples can be written, no problem in that. You can write your own examples. Okay, example 1 by 6. Please say, yes, 1 by 12, 1 by 5, 1 by 4, 1 by 14, 1 by 3, etc. Any fraction with 1 as the numerator is a unit fraction. Okay. Now write Roman number 2. Next we have discussed which category? Yes, proper and improper fractions. Okay, write down Roman number 2. Proper and improper, proper and I can be written capital, improper fractions. Proper and improper fractions. In that, first we can write proper fraction. A fraction, fractions having, if in a fraction numerator is less than the denominator, it is known as a proper fraction, isn't it? A fraction in which numerator is less than the denominator, a fraction in which numerator is less than the denominator is known as yes, a proper fraction. A proper fraction. What is meant by proper fraction? A fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator is known as a proper fraction. So, can you write some examples yourself? Can you find out some examples of proper fractions yourself? Can you find out some examples of proper fractions? Yeah, please try to find out. We can write 2 by 3 is a proper fraction. Why 2 is less than 3? 4 by 8, is it a proper fraction? Yes, why 4 is less than 8? 11 by 15, is it a proper fraction? Yes, 11 is less than 15. 9 by 10, is it a proper fraction? Yes, 9 is less than 10, isn't it? Yes. Now let's write B. What is B? Yeah, improper fraction. What is it? Can you say the definition of improper fraction? Yes, a fraction in which numerator is greater than the denominator is known as an improper fraction. A fraction in which numerator is greater than the denominator, denominator is known as, yes, numerator is greater than the denominator is known as, yes, an improper fraction, is known as an improper fraction. Okay, so please try to write some examples of an improper fraction. Please try to write some examples of an improper fraction. What is the definition? Yes, numerator is greater than the denominator. That's all. Can you say some examples of improper fraction? Try to say. Yes, 7 by 3. This is an example. Then 15 by 5. Is it an example? Yes, 15 is greater than 5, isn't it? 13 by 10. Is it an improper fraction? Yes. 27 by 5. Yes. 10 by 4. Yes. All these are examples of improper fractions. Okay. Next we have discussed about what? Yes, like and unlike fractions, isn't it? Next we have discussed about like and unlike fractions. Roman number 3, like fractions, or we can write like and unlike fractions. Like and unlike fractions. What is the meaning of like fraction? What is meant by like fractions? Yes, fractions with same denominator are known as like fractions, isn't it? Okay, write down A. Fractions with same denominator, fractions with same denominator, fractions with same denominator are known as like fractions. Are known as what? Yes, like fractions are known as like fractions. Fractions with same denominator are known as like fractions. Okay, please try to write some examples of like fractions. Try to find out some examples of like fractions yourself. Try to find out some examples of like fractions. Can you write? Okay, let's try. 3 by 8. Then, can we say 11 by 2 here? Can we write 11 by 2 here? No, this won't be a like fraction of 3 by 8. Like fractions should have the same denominator, isn't it? So, 4 by 8. Then, 11 by 8. Then, 2 by 8. Then, 6 by 8. Then, 3 by 8. 3 by 8 we have written already, sorry. Then, 15 by 8, etc. are like fractions, isn't it? These are like fractions. Okay, now what is the category B? Yes, unlike fractions. Unlike fractions. Next category is unlike fractions. What is the definition of unlike fractions? Yeah, fractions having different denominators are known as unlike fractions. Okay, write down. Fractions with different denominators are known as different denominators are known as what? Yes, unlike fractions. You please write neatly, okay? Unlike fractions. Fractions with different denominators are known as unlike fractions. Fractions with different denominators are known as unlike fractions. Please try to write some examples. Here one important matter is there. In the case of unlike fractions, numerator can be the same. Numerator can be the same, but denominator should be different. That's all. Okay. 4 by 9. Then please try to say 2 by 3. Then 4 by 6. Then 5 by 11. Then say, please try to say 10 by 15. In all these fractions, different denominators are different, isn't it? Etc. are unlike fractions. Etc. are unlike fractions. Okay, understood? Okay, Here 4 by 6 and 4 by 9 are there. No problem. Numerators are same, but still they are unlike fractions. Why? Yeah, denominators are different. Denominators are 9 and 6. Different denominators are there. So they are still unlike fractions. Have you understood? Understood the concepts well? Learn these concepts well today itself. And today's homework is, I will give you some questions. You please try to do those questions in your rough copy and send to my personal number. The questions will be given this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Those questions have to be done in your rough copy only and sent to my personal number. Okay, I would like to tell you one more thing. As most of you know, I have a lot of for some of you, I have some of you have got the corrected answer scripts of both the CTs. I know that, but in the case of some of you, you haven't got the answer scripts of both the exams. That I know, but unfortunately, I had to stop this correction box for 2-3 weeks due to the eye problems. Just 2 weeks ago, I had stopped the correction box for more than 2 or 3 weeks due to the severe eye problems caused. So I have some pending was in correction. Don't worry. From this mobile, I have transferred all your answer scripts to the laptop. I have transferred the answer scripts to the laptop due to the lack of space, and the correction has been done after shifting that scripts to the mobile again. So it takes a lot of time. It's really time consuming. Please try to understand. Surely the corrected scripts will be given to you. Don't worry about it. So some steps are there for this correction. Already I have transferred your answer scripts to the laptop. From there it has to be shifted to the mobile again. Then I have to correct and send back to you. That's the problem. Okay, time consuming. Please try to understand. Be good children. Be safe. Be healthy. Thank you. Have a nice day.